Considering that the European Commission plays a significant executive role, and also keeping in mind that only the European Parliament is directly elected by the citizens, I would like to ask you, don't you think that in order to reinforce the democratic character of the Union, the President of the Commission should be elected by the members of the European Parliament? And if so, why has this amendment not been made yet?
You have mentioned that one of the duties of the European Commission is to ensure if Member States follow the legislation that has been enacted. To what extent Member States follow the legislation, and what kind of ratifications have to encounter in case of disobedience to the rules?
I have to raise a quite similar question to a previous one. Do you believe that after the Lisbon Treaty, the part the European citizens play in the EU is enough for them to be heard and considered while taking important decisions?
My question is, what are the actions that the EU is taking about the situation in Ukraine?
Turkey has been a candidate country, if I'm not mistaken, since 1971, and they still aren't in the European Union. I know it is an easy question, but how long it will take their integration process?
So there's no doubt that the EU already gets involved in crises going on all around the world. But do you personally think that the EU should care more and involve more in crises which are going on in mostly third world countries?
So economists widely agree that the GFC's main cause would be, apart from the Asian gland, the great inequalities between creditors and debtors. In the meantime, Australia, the least affected country by the Great Recession, would achieve better affronting the issue by pouring money into the local community and investing into long-term infrastructure projects as well as in education. So we're asking, why is the EU supporting a policy that is not only based in austerity instead of long-term infrastructures, but is also greatening the gap, the imbalances between the North and the so-called pigs? And we're also asking, from who or from what does this policy derive? Thank you.
I wanted to know, what do you think about the problem with the Roma people, and how does the European Parliament help them?
After different spy cases between different European countries, can we still talk about trust and consistency within the European Union or not?
Recently, as you all know, more than 900 illegal immigrants died in the Strait of Sicily. And thinking about the possible solutions, I agree that a big part has to go in prevention. And so in this sense, shouldn't we stress the collaboration with non-governative organizations such as the World Food Programme, for example? And another question, how do other European countries actually help Italy in this case, in this emergency, in terms of resources?
I'm going to ask you, what is the real position of the European Union about the horrible illness of the Italian olive trees that is called Xylella fastidiosa, which is killing all these in the southeast of Italy? Thank you.
Given the high rate of youth unemployment in the EU, are we facing the danger of a wasted generation that soon will be too old and inexperienced to become employed?
Since there's people leaving to fight for terrorist organizations, why are we letting them get back into Europe?
According to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which allows 5 countries in total to have nuclear weapons, 2 or 3 of which I believe are part of the European Union, do you not believe that the fact that these 2 or 3 countries are allowed to have nuclear weapons might create a sense of inequality amongst the European states? Thank you.
I would like to know why the Treaty of Dublin is still executive and it is not modified or replaced. The system presented by the treaty does not provide a good protection for the migrants, and often they must wait years to receive the authorization, so immigrants choosing an easier solution, agreeing to travel to disastrous conditions. I think it is a treaty that is not suitable for our international situation. Thanks.